laps of the Calder Park Thunderdome for the Goodyear Pedders Auscar 200. In pole position is John Faulkner in car 46, the Fisher and Paykel Holden Commodore, but Faulkner has had a big drama. In practice this morning, he blew his engine and he's made it back to the grid with a replacement engine with just 4 minutes to go. And that, Alan Grice, is a real concern for John Faulkner.
Yes, he thinks he knows exactly what the engine's going to do. It's been on the dyno, no doubt. But until you actually get it in the car, he hasn't had the luxury of a few laps of practice. So he's really going to be testing the car in the new engine in the race, and fingers crossed.
Brad Jones currently leads the Australian...
And for the Goodyear Auscar Series for 93-94, the Pedders Auscar 200. John Mostini, the chief starter, holding the drivers back. Faulkner's going to control this start. We're getting ready for the green flag.
Slow down even further, he says. There's no sign of the green coming over the side. Now it does, and they're racing. And Fitzgerald goes for it on the outside. Faulkner on the replacement engine. Down the inside is car 3, Marshall Brewer.
Oh, Bradley Jones also moving up. They're going 3 abreast into the first turn. It looks like Faulkner, though, has got it. Fitzy in the second.
Sensationally, Faulkner holds it. The engine in Faulkner's car is a clunker engine. It's not his best engine by any means.
Oh, Marshall Brewer has just blown them away up the back straight, gone into the lead. We've got the number 9 car, Bruce Williams, the Bendix car, in second or third position. Oh, someone's gone. Someone's gone. That's Max de Jersey, the 01 car.
He's got the wall on the inside. He got loose on the way into the corner. He was trying three wide, got up into the marbles, corrected, slid out wide, corrected, and into the wall.
Amazingly,
the yellows are out.
Just come out now.
The yellows are out. The yellows did not instantly come out because because Max de Jersey had moved almost off the track. But in fact, where he's parked is where another car could park if it had a similar incident.
I'd say
one lap into it, and already drama at Calder Thunderdome. Let's see now what happened to Max de Jersey. There he is up high. Alan Grice.
Yes, in the marbles. He corrected it, then up it goes again. That's the second time, and then the third time it just turns on him and bangs straight in there. You can see the rubbish that's coming off his car. Very lucky to get down in that little break in the traffic. Good driving behind. The guys saw what was happening, saw the smoke. They were on the stoppers and fortunately made it a one-car accident. Could have brought the rest of the field down.
Just look how close he comes to Nathan Pretty, the now 20-year-old protege of Bradley Jones, in the Caterpillar car, in the car 2. You'll just see as de Jersey comes down off the wall, there's the Cat car. There wasn't a lot of room between them.
No, certainly not. And see how much velocity he's still got. He's got everything locked up. He's already banged the fence. And he's...
him then Brad Jones in third position. Starter tells them to get it right. Flag goes.
Both Brewer and Bruce Williams, a great job at the restart. Looks to be the Beaurepaires car of Grant Monday settling into 4th spot there. But it is Brewer leading around turn 1 and 2. Bruce Williams starting to challenge for the lead, heading up the back straight. The ultimate Commodore does go into the lead. The field settles down into turn 3. Brewer tries to go down lower. Williams covers it. A nice freight train of Holden Commodores and Ford Falcons round turn 3 and 4.
I think it may well have been that Faulkner was taking it a bit easy on the first run up that back straight, because he certainly doesn't seem to be lacking the power right now.
Jones now up into second position. Overtakes Bruce Williams, or rather Marshall Brewer.
And Faulkner moves up in the 3rd spot. I believe he's about to get past Brewer. Looking out of the camera of Brewer's car. Or Bradley Jones's car, out the front headlight of Brad Jones's car. Bruce Williams came second in the Australian Championship last season. Here we go, looking out the back of Bradley's car now, and John Faulkner not too far behind.
Yes, I'd say there's no question that that engine that Faulkner's put in is strong. It's as strong as his race engine. He'll be right in the money here.
So that's the back of Bradley Jones's car, and that's John Faulkner right behind.
Of course, these guys first and second in the Australian Championship for this season. Bradley's won the last 4. Bruce Williams in front. He came second last season. John Faulkner wants to turn the tables this year. And a great view as they head off down into turn number 1. Bruce Williams a little bit loose that time, Gricey.
Yes, he's certainly loose on the way to the corner. He went in pretty high, but I think that same situation will apply to these cars as we found in these sportsmen, that setting up in the cool conditions, racing in
Jones makes his move. Down the inside goes Jones on Bruce Williams.
Yes, you can see the rear of Williams' car was just working then. Here's Faulkner on some of the action
trying
too.
for a way through as well. Three abreast down the main straight, three abreast. Jones on the inside. Williams takes off the front of Faulkner's car, leaving Faulkner nowhere to go. Terry Waihoon now up into fourth position with the pink on the back of his motor car.
Williams seems to be going very high into the corners, a lot higher than normal.
Yes, particularly that turn one, he gets in there very high, but maybe it's the way he's got his car set up and he just likes to use that part of the track.
He hasn't had the best of seasons so far. Looking out at the large crowd here at Calder Park, Brad Jones, Cooper Tools Commodore, first spot, heading across the line. We're on lap number 10. Bruce Williams is in second spot, the better appliance store car of John Faulkner in third. And is that Terry Waihoon moving up the fourth spot?
Sure is. Now Jones starts to open the security gap. Just look at how he works this track. Williams, meantime, doing Jones a favour as Faulkner looks for a way through.
Seeing out the window.
Jones sits to the outside of him. He won't relent. Williams now moves to the inside of Faulkner. Three abreast again. Jones out around the outside. This is what happened at Adelaide International Raceway. Jones got on the outside of them and wore them down. I don't think it can happen here at Calder Thunderdome.
Anything can happen at Thunderdome, John, anything.
Jones now a nose in front, but Faulkner's got the inside running. Jones has got to get in and out of the draft to stop Waihoon going through on the inside.
Oh, and Peter Fitzgerald's come up wide as well.
He got very high, almost into the marbles.
Fitzgerald inexplicably moved back to 8th position on lap 2, now moving his way back through the field. Waihoon going low on Jones. That's Waihoon filling your camera.
Waihoon's moved up into third spot ahead of Williams. Brewer's gone back to 5th. Fitzy's gone back to 6th spot. Boy, this is a great race so far. We're 13 laps down. We've had 4 different leaders already. And we're about to have another lead change, I think, as Bradley has taken Faulkner on the inside line.
And this time it's Faulkner's turn to be up high and not going anywhere.
And I tell you what, Waihoon is about to have a challenge as well. He sits right on the tail. Yeah, here's Faulkner. He's doing exactly what Brad Jones did to him the previous lap. He got up nice and high. There's the SMS mobile telephones car of Terry Waihoon. He's been performing exceptionally well recently. Seems to make a lot of horsepower, the Terry Waihoon car.
Yes, it's a strong engine, obviously. It's less small, those engines, along with the Bow Repairs car of Grant Mundy.
Just 1.4 seconds separates the top 9 competitors in this event. Just incredible stuff. Jones now exerts his authority. Waihoon takes over second. Faulkner back into third.
Interesting, Greg East has moved up to 6th or 7th positions. Greg East was the first ever pole sitter here at the Calder Park Thunderdome back in February 1988. There's Terry Waihoon on screen at the moment, currently lying in 2nd spot. 15 laps down, so we've got 95 to go.
Faulkner starting to drop back through the field. This is a problem for Faulkner.
Well, we do see he and Brad Jones do this quite often. They drop a number of cars back, although he looks to be losing a lot of speed.
He does, doesn't he? I'd say he's used up everything that that motor had. Maybe he's waiting for the oil pressure to become stable again or whatever.
No, Alan? I think he's still looking pretty strong down the straights, John. I think what he's doing is that they have been running very hard, and they haven't been running on their own clear line. So they've been working their tyres pretty hard. Now, if the car starts to push, or more likely to get a bit light in the tail, if you just button off and pull your head in for a couple of laps, get the heat out of the tyres, then you get the tyre grip back and you can press on again. And I think that's what you'll find that he's doing. I mean, he was running on the inside, then on the outside of Bradley Jones, and they're not on the ideal, perfect race line. So
of Brad Jones in the Cooper Tools car. And here comes Faulkner back again. He started to move out. You see him, he's gone under Fitzgerald. He moves back up into 4th spot.
32.2 seconds was the lap for Brad Jones that time round. So about a second and a bit off the lap record. Not blindingly fast, but then Jones is defending his position.
there's no question. You've just got to keep your tyres cool. And if you find during the race that your handling changes a little bit, normally because of track temperature, the car can start to push or understeer, or it can start to get loose or oversteer, and you really have to try and keep the pace up.
And now looking for a way through Marshall Brewer in third position. There he is, looking for a way down the inside. Brewer covers himself reasonably well, leaves a tantalising gap open, but Faulkner can't get through.
Marshall Brewer perhaps does more laps around the Thunderdome than anyone else with his fast-track driving school. So he should know the right lines and know what his car can take. You can see the dots going in and out of the corners.
That's Waihoon on the back of Bradley Jones. This is the race for the lead at the Calder Thunderdome. Auscar, Goodyear Petters 200, lapping slower traffic.
At this stage, Bradley really wouldn't, I don't think, be worrying about Terry Waihoon on his tail. He'd be looking for the nice line in and out of each corner. And I suppose that's why he is a four-time champion.
Yeah, the reason that the tread is buffed down is so that the whole tyre is more stable. But these cars are really leaning on them very, very hard. They're running a lot of pressure. It's hot, and you really have to keep your tyres alive. They do a wonderful job, the Goodyears.
Faulkner now down on the back of Peter Fitzgerald. Peter Fitzgerald in turn throwing out the big pressure on Marshall Brewer and getting through. Fitzgerald up into third position. Faulkner looking for the way through at the same time. Will he do it? Yes, he does. So Marshall Brewer shuffles back 2 positions in the space of just 1 corner. 3 positions.
There goes Mark Seaton. It's the first of the Fords, and it looks to be Brewer has started to settle back. I tell you what, Grant Monday and the Beaurepairs car is about to have a go at him as well.
And the new race leader is Terry Waihoon through Brad Jones. So huge changes here in the top 7 or 8 positions as Terry Waihoon not only goes through Brad Jones but sprints away. Alan Grice's tyre conservation program coming to the fore again, I'd say.
Yes, I think so. I think they're just trying to keep the tyres nice and straight.
Off screen we see Bruce Williams, one of the early pace leaders, on up. Nice easy line coming down around onto the yellow line on the right hand side there. Looking out the back, there's Fitzgerald and
on the outside and Faulkner on the end.
And Faulkner got to that position by slipping Fitzgerald down the straight, pulling out and ducking under him, so there's certainly nothing short in his power department.
You're riding with Bradley Jones. 4 times Auscar winner. That's Terry Waihoon in front, the man who would be king. He'd love to do it. Meantime now, Grant Monday starts to throw out a big challenge to Mark Seaton in the first of the Ford Falcons, back in 5th position.
Mark Seaton doing a great job in the Falcon in 5th spot.
Turn 1, there's a car just going round.
That's Anthony Leach by the looks of it, car 66. It certainly is the heavy haulage car lover's car.
Yellow's out.
Yellow's out. He did it all by himself. I pretty much caught him early in the piece, and he just sort of half a loop and down onto the flat.
This is going to help all of the front-running competitors with their tyres and their tactics.
As he heads for the pits to change his tyres, Alan Grace.
Yeah, just got loose, overcorrected a little, tail went around again. Guy behind did a very good job, just drove up around the high side around him.
Scott Wood, the
locked
former...
up, yeah, locked up and down into the flat about now. So that's he's got out of that quite well.
Pedal to the metal, and Jones looks to try to get the jump on the outside of Waihoon. Mick Webb on the inside. He's a few laps down.
2, in fact, so Mick not in contention, but certainly gets in the way of the faster cars on this restart.
Bradley certainly got the jump on that restart. He's gone straight around the outside.
So Jones now in the lead. Faulkner looks for a way through. Waihoon on the inside and does it. So you're back to the 2 protagonists again. It's Jones and Faulkner. First and second, then Waihoon third, then Peter Fitzgerald in 4th position.
Bradley wasn't too happy over in Adelaide because he got a stop-go penalty for a 15-second penalty for passing on the inside under a yellow. And that put him back from first back to 6th position. And it really didn't help his championship points situation. Faulkner now.
Faulkner, just look how close he's getting to Jones. Down the inside, can he do it? He's got the inside run. Jones is closing the gap.
Boy, the pressure really must be on in a situation like that. racing around the corners at something like 160 kilometres per hour, averaging over 210 kilometres per hour around the track. Brad Jones now coming out of turn number 2. Faulkner goes outside, inside.
Is that a dog of a motor or what? That motor goes sensationally, doesn't it?
Yeah, no problem in the power department. Here's Fitzgerald coming in under Waihoon.
Yep.
So Waihoon in the space of 2 laps has gone from 1st to 4th position.
Faulkner's in the lead. Brad Jones is now challenging him. Here comes Fitzgerald. Behind him is Waihoon. Then comes Grant Munday. Then Mark Seaton in the Falcon.
Dangers.
Fitzgerald, now there he is, the Hardy Ducks Falcon Commodore, right on the tail of Brad Jones and looking for a way through. And there's a car slowing on the outside of turn 2. It's got to bring the yellows out. Yes, it does.
Yeah, that does. That's
now, it's badly placed, that motor car.
Yeah, but one has to get rebuilt, Al.
You're quite sure that it's you've got those earplugs right back in now?
Yeah, it was deafening me before. When someone had passed me, nearly won his choice.
Have you got full contact with your pitch now?
Yep, we're all ready to go.
So let's see what happened to the Scotty Wood situation out on the track. Scott Wood's still stalled out there, but let's see now what occurred. Wood obviously had the half loose, hit the wall. Everything locks up. Now he's heading down towards the infield, which is the right place to be. Now, why did he make the decision to go back up high again?
I think he may have even lost the steering. It's just going straight.
So he's actually pulled the steering. He's hit that wall harder than you think, and broken the steering.
The pits, is it not? Yes, it is. We're told there's only 1 lap remaining. Yes, only 1 lap remaining, and Jones is headed for the pits.
Nearly got cleaned up by Richard Howe going in there as well. So, gee, this is an interesting one for Bradley to do this now.
Going to have to be a top spot, top stop.
Is this a blue? Is this a blue, Alan?
I don't think so. He's got a very good. There's a long way to go. He's got a very good crew. He'll get back on the end of the line, not a problem before the start, and he'll run the others down. And remember that fresh rubber is the big thing. If you've got good tyres and good rubber, you can push your car green going.
Look at Fitzgerald go. He just took the pace right away from Faulkner, and Faulkner's bogged right down. So Peter Fitzgerald takes the lead, and Faulkner's back in 5th position if you discount the cars at the lap.
Yeah, he has really gone backwards very quickly. He should have been controlling the start, but Fitzgerald got him. Seaton's gone up into 2nd spot, the DFS Health Insurance Ford Falcon. Up to 2nd spot, a great job. Greg East up in the 3rd, but there he is, the current leader, Peter Fitzgerald. And I think we may have even seen Greg East past Mark Seaton for 2nd spot. He has the Nolan's Commodore, the blue, yellow and red Commodore you see there on screen. Into 2nd spot, Seaton 3rd, Grant Munday up to 4th, and Faulkner right back to 5th.
Bradley Jones, meantime, lurks further back again in about 10th or 11th position. In fact, 13th. Oh, look at East all over the back of Fitzgerald.
We're about to have another leader, a new leader, I think. East, if he has his way, the 99 Commodore was the first ever pole sitter here at the Thunderdome for Auscar Racing. So a bit of history to go along with that. Unfortunately, on the day, he was beaten by a woman when Terry Sawyer came out and won the first race.
Yeah, it's a pity to see Terry out of Auscar Racing now, but she really did a very good job, and I think she won a NASCAR race also here.
She did. Moment holding Grant Munday out of 4th spot.
Marshall Brewer in 6th, and then back in 7th position is Nathan Pretty, as Faulkner moves now up into the 2nd position, past Greg East. Oh, and Fitzgerald moving around a bit too as he sees Faulkner coming up behind him. And Faulkner through, just like that. The power of that car, incredible.
I think Fitzgerald got a little sideways, a little slow off the corner as well. Yeah, you can see the rear of Fitzgerald's car moving around now. The tyres are starting to complain. He'll need to keep it pretty straight and pretty cool. Looking good as they come out of turn number 2 and head up the back straight again.
Faulkner's car got a little bit twitchy there as well, coming out of turn. This is for Peter's Auscar 200. Currently, John Faulkner leads with Peter Fitzgerald in second spot and Greg East in third. See Rod Wilson on screen at the moment, going past the Caterpillar powered car of Nathan Pretty. Pretty takes a spot back, and Waihoon sitting right on the bumper of the 37 car of Rod Wilson now.
That Caterpillar sponsorship, in fact, new for Nathan Pretty, so it's a big plus for the 20-year-old from Albury.
Helps young Nathan out with advice up at Albury, and this is actually an ex-Brad Jones car, so it's good to see he's doing exceptionally well. Rod Wilson about to come under a challenge and is passed by Terry Waihoons, now up into 9th.
There.
Waihoon just moved up one spot and he's about to take another. So there's 2 spots in about a quarter of a lap.
Well, he has just gone right up into 5th position. And he is charging exceptionally well.
Yeah, he is. He's going...
Bradley Jones currently in 11th spot. He's about to go up into the top 10. Passes the boomerang paper car of Lee Watkins, another of the Ford Falcons.
That puts Bradley into 10th position.
Wilson just covers his tracks there.
He picked him up on the way into the corner. Now what he'll try to do here is get a little lower than him and accelerate out into the slipstream and then try and pull out, but he just didn't get the run out of the corner quite well enough. But
there he
still
goes.
Dived down the inside, and that was just late braking. He just pulled the inside and said, I'm going to put them on after you, and he did.
And with the cornering on these, Alan, of course, you're flat out up to the corner, you hit the brakes extremely hard, then feather the throttle around till you get around halfway around the turn and then back on the pedal.
Well, you get back on the throttle as soon as you possibly can, and that's dependent on how your car's set up and where your car settles in. But you certainly need to get on the throttle and then squeeze it all the way out of the corner until you get it as flat as you can, because that's the object.
And there's your new race leader. Peter Fitzgerald has taken back the lead from John Faulkner. Greg East in 3rd position. Faulkner fights back now, down the inside. He'll do it on Fitzgerald again.
There's your new race leader. That's amazing. It really is a fantastic competitive class of racing Auscar. They've got a slower car just in front of them. Faulkner goes the outside. East is going to go the inside. Here comes 99 East. He's got past Fitzgerald. Faulkner closes the door on him. And Greg East now sitting right on the bumper.
And look who's in 4th.
Terry Waihoon. Gee. Unbelievable.
0.52 of a second separates the top 4 competitors. It is sensationally close racing.
It is amazing. Faulkner leading the charge. There's Greg East. Peter Fitzgerald. Brewer's about to go past Terry Waihoon. Yeah, Brewer just holding out. Now Waihoon sitting at the back of that bunch there. Grant Monday sitting back nice and quietly. And there goes Marshall Brewer to take 4th spot over.
To be that close at that sort of speed for so long, there is no chance for a breather whatsoever.
The thing is also with this type of racing is that the straights really are so short that you don't have time, you know, at a place like Bathurst or something, you've got quite a long mountain straight, you've got quite a long Conrod straight, and you've got time to flex your hands and have a good look around and exercise your muscles, move the head around a little bit, but not here. They're at no place to take some time off, so the concentration thing is very high.
We've just gone past half race distance, and Greg East has taken the lead. The 99 Norlands car, 7th different leader so far in the race. Quite amazing, and we're only halfway there.
Faulkner now looks for a way through again. Has to have it here, yes. Faulkner, when we were talking about braking and accelerating in the corners, Faulkner is an old go-kart man. Faulkner, almost uniquely in this category, left foot brakes. So in every corner, he's actually using throttle and brake simultaneously, steadying the car with the brake and accelerating at the same time. He is never fully off the throttle.
Well, I can tell you I can't do that. If I try to left foot brake, I'll kick myself over the fence. I've tried it, but I just can't get on top of it. So I'm a right foot braker and accelerator.
So Faulkner leading around turn number 1 into turn 2. They'll head up the back straight yet again. They're on lap number 58, 52 laps remaining. Greg East in second spot, Peter Fitzgerald in third spot, Marshall Brewer in fourth.
Oh, third, who knows?
Third,
Here he goes. Look at Marshall Brewer round the outside. Now he starts to tuck down on Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald won't give him an inch.
And look who's sitting back there. Bo's back. He's sitting back nice and quietly, Grant Monday. I think he's playing a great game here.
Yeah, I think you're quite right. He's not put a lot on his tyres. I think he's probably got a nice handling car at the moment.
And right behind this group, of course, lurking in 7th position is Bradley Jones. Now, there goes Grant Monday down past Fitzgerald. So it's been Fitzgerald's opportunity to wear out his rubber. And I'd say at this point, with 51 laps to go, that Fitzy may well be finding that...
And Monday in 5th spot now.
Keep in mind that Bradley Jones has fresh rubber on the drive wheels. Now, how close can you get to the Falcon Tyres Hardy Ducks car of Peter Fitzgerald? And then get through. That was pretty easy.
Yes, pull the slipstream and out and through, not a problem at all.
Up a little bit higher. Monday still having a go as they come into turn 3 and 4.
And doing a very, very good job of it too. Very confident indeed. Look at this. Bradley wouldn't be appreciating that.
Of course, Grant Monday has the advantage, or it is a certain advantage of the less small power. Which, he got very loose coming out of that corner that time. But he's got the less small engines. So he has a very reliable unit on board. That really has showed in the way he's finished so far this season. Alan, he's going to go out there on the same conditions as what Faulkner's going to go back out on, and I think that's really the right way of doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Pulls right in front.
Wyhoon is still out. He hasn't come in yet.
There goes Faulkner and Bradley. So Faulkner goes out behind Bradley.
Yeah, Faulkner came in before him.
Flag is waving again. Terry Wyhoon takes the lead. Brad Jones, a great start. Goes around the outside. And Bradley Jones already back up in a 3rd position. But out in first, it's Terry Wyhoon in fitting.
He hasn't come in for tyres, and he's got some tyres now that are pretty old and sad, and I really can't figure that out. I guess he's punting on there being another yellow and him getting some fresher tyres for late in the race.
Well, that was the story of the race, wasn't it then? Because Jones and Faulkner just went straight through Fitzgerald.
And also East as well. So it's quite interesting because Bradley Jones in the past has taken a punt and gone a full race distance on the same tyre.
Auscar Championship. And look how hard he's trying on Bradley Jones.
Oh. We nearly...
So Jones down the inside of Wyhoon. Faulkner can't find the way through.
Wyhoon, another of the guys that stayed out that time. He's gone from Bradley Jones and John Faulkner in first. It's we've warned him. We have warned him. Yes. You can't get any closer to the action than that one.
Was a nice camera, wasn't it? Look at this. Faulkner down the inside takes Jones. Unsettled Jones. Wyhoon comes through as well.
He did. Yes, he did. He pushed him up. Bradley didn't expect, went back up high again.
Bradley would not be a happy camper after that. Oh, gee. Cut down on Wyhoon that time, but would not be a happy camper. The SBS television camera.
The view out of the back of the camera that has survived the assault from John Faulkner. And there's the camera that's now in jeopardy as it comes up onto the back of Faulkner. And Bradley won't be too polite, I wouldn't have thought it.
Mark Seaton and Rodney Jane on screen, the two Falcons, the highest placed Falcons in the bunch. Seaton takes back 11th spot. And Rodney Jane, the Kitten Car Care Polish. Bob Jane T-Mark, Ford Falcon. We're under lapping some cars currently. There's the 66 46 car of Anthony Leach. We saw him have a spin. There's Lee Watkins also on the tail of Rod Jane. Watkins is in 13th spot.
You could say forget it.
So Fitzgerald pulls to the pits on with 22 laps remaining. There he is.
Up in the rear quarter. I think he has as well.
I just can't understand why he stayed out.
Going to try the inside line on Waihoon this time around. Nice and low into turn number 3. Holding that line well. Waihoon going to come back at him. So 19 laps, start to pull in that 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, but the thing we don't know is whether he's just hanging on to Faulkner quite happily or whether he's actually hanging on to Faulkner by his fingernails. That's the second or third stop for this.
The boomerang paper Lee Watkins car in the pit.
Well, there's why. Look at the flat spot on the tyre.
But out there at the moment, a really interesting battle ensuing in the lead. For 10 laps, John Faulkner was lapping in the low 31s. Then
switches to the outside. We'll try and run in deeper. Under
with an arm span. Next, it's out to this.
Faulkner would be hoping that it was a nice...
Does. So he's through those two. That could be the ball game.
Faulkner going for his first win ever at the Calder Thunderdome. He's won 4 Auscar races before, but on the Gold Coast and at Adelaide International Raceway. He's never won here. Can Faulkner hold it out? With
2 laps remaining now as they go across the strike there for the 108th time. It's John Faulkner. You can see Faulkner's car off in the distance. We're looking out the bumper of Brad Jones. Faulkner's got past Rodney Jane. Jane is in 9th spot, so they've lapped the first 9 competitors.
Of a gap, and he really doesn't have to pass these other slower cars in front of him that he's about to lap. I think he'll just pull back and take the checker. Well done.
And he's done it. John Faulkner wins his first ever race at the Calder Thunderdome, either in Auscars or
Coast. But the road racers certainly have got an advantage on their heel and toe and the way they're used to turning left and right. But the same will apply with the NASCARs.
But either way, no matter what happens there last round at Faulkner.
The
burnout.
Yeah, he loves the burnout at the end of a win.
Yeah, he does the burnout well. Well, I'm going to have to leave you gents now because I've got to go and strap myself in a NASCAR.
Hey, Grice, best of luck. We'll have Bradley Jones up here to talk to you during the NASCAR. That should be good fun.
Well, I guess he's got a few ready for me.
And the winner of the Goodyear Australian Auscar Series.
A fantastic race. Nathan Pretty ended up 6th, Gregory 7th, Mark Seaton 8th, Rod Jane 9th.